Alright, here's an update on the driver's side tow board. I just got it roughed out now, but I'll probably take this up inch higher. Even though that's good metal there, that's even better up an inch or two more. Of course, I'll butt weld that, and the top there, I'll butt weld that. On this side, I'll just take that little flange out and plug weld it in there, and all this has to come out. This is bad anyway, but I gotta be able to get to this under here. Of course, I'll clean all this up, put epoxy primer on it, and epoxy primer the back of the tow board before I put it in. And I'll have access to all the weld spots after that to get them painted and do rust prevention. So that's about it. I'll give an update when I have one. Alright, this piece here finally came out. It looks like they drug the spot welds. I've seen that in other places in the car. Instead of a clean spot weld, it's like they drug the gun. I don't know. I'm just guessing. That was the piece that was right there. So you get that, unattach that, clean all that up, take that off, that flange there, clean that up, start getting it fitted. I took that flange out here. My plan is to, that's galvanized, but on the floor pan is to put weld through on that flange that goes to at least where those holes are, and then plug weld it from the other side. And up top here where the two pans are going to meet, I'm probably going to take a small bit and drill three or four small holes there, and then weld it from the other side so they'll be welded together. We gotta get this done, and this has been bent, this one right here, and it was like that on the other side too, so I'll have to bend that back. Once I get all this cleaned up, I'll put some epoxy primer on it and start getting it welded in. I got all the old metal removed. This piece here took me about an hour. It was rusted together. I couldn't see the spot welds. I didn't want to get in there with the air chisel. But that's where the rocker, tow board, and floor pan all meet and get welded in right there. Just in case this might help somebody, the tow board on the Camaro welds into here, and then there's a flange that welds there, and then the rocker, the inner rocker comes across, and then there's a flange right here that gets welded. So if you're going to replace the rocker, you can just cut right there and won't hit anything. I'm not replacing the outer rocker. It's in good shape. You can see here it's all hollow under there, so you're okay to cut if you're going to replace it. I think you pretty much have to. I don't see how you get it out of there without replacing it. One thing I wanted to point out was the outside rocker that was bent because it got hit a little bit, I guess on a curve. I don't know, it wasn't bad, but I straightened that out before I started working on there. That way it had another support, because it was okay there, but up here it was bent a little bit. One thing to remember on my time it took me to do this, a lot of it has to do with inexperience. I'm not sure how rough I can get with that. So it might take you a little less time. I did the other side in 30 minutes, but this one was just a tough one to see where the welds were. Alright, I got this driver's side tow board roughed in, but there's still a ways to go on it yet. But I wanted to point out a few things before I forgot. On both sides, the pan on the left and right, this area is curved up, and you got to bend it down to get it to fit. And I had to do a pie cut here and there to get it to fit on both sides. But on this one, the actual flange that runs down right here was too wide, and so I had to cut it down just to get the pan in there. But these are good pans. They're sturdy. I got them from Rick's Camaros. They're made in America. And I don't know if you can see that part number there. It's PP15L, and the passenger side is PP15R. But it does take a little work to get them to fit, but I think that's pretty much for all of them. So I'll update you when I have some more progress. Alright, getting pretty close now. You can see that top corner there. I need to work on that. The curvature of the pan is wrong. But there's a few spots I need to take a little material off. That's pushing this down, making it look like a big gap, but it's okay. So, getting close. Hopefully, if I don't lose power this weekend, I'll be able to finish it off, and maybe work on that rocker a little bit too. A little bit farther along, I sectioned that piece out, and then I took the piece I cut off up top. I just cut a square out of it, bent it 90 degrees over my bench, and then matched this rolled edge. I just picked a same size socket. It was a 7/16 socket, and made that curve match, and then up top I did a square just like the original. Alright, here we are. I got that piece welded in and ground down, and this pan's fitting pretty good now. I have one troubled area left, starting here all the way to the top of the pan. I got about a 1/16 or less too much gap, and it's definitely the pan, because everything else matches up perfectly. You can see those lines there, they match up. So what I might do is cut it down, cut it across, and pull it over and weld it back up. See there, it's airtight. Where you're seeing some daylight there, that's just where I hadn't bit the flange back to weld it together. So looking good. A little bit more. I did lose power this weekend, but it was kind of funny. I didn't lose it for what I thought I was. They were cutting down a big tree near an electrical line. I thought they'd shut the power off, but they didn't. They got it going, and then the power went out randomly. So alright, you can see that I had to go ahead and cut that and pull it over, but that line is looking good now. I don't know how much you can tell on camera, but that'll be fine. I'll take that part of that cut over to the workbench and work on it there. I should be able to get to where you can't even see it, but all the lines are matching up good there. That pan, when I knew it was going to be a problem, I didn't know it was going to be this much. Was you could tell that side where they rolled that lip, it was not even a straight, and the piece it's welded to is straight. So you'd think they would be able to catch stuff like that, but it's going to work out, and I think it's going to look good, so I'm happy with it. Alright, I got that side nice and tight. I'm happy with it. That's what we're looking like. On this side, we're good, except for starting about right here to here. I got a little too much gap. I think I might have to put a small piece in there, but I have access to it on both sides, so it shouldn't be a problem. I think just working this side back over closer, getting it tight, that gap on the other side became too big. But interesting, on this side, this piece here had a big couple bumps on it where they spot welded it, but it never had anything to spot weld to, and that was stopping me from getting it tight, so I just had to grind it down and also work the pan to both factors. Alright, I got it all welded in, and the only thing left to do is grind down the welds. I'm really happy with that top left corner, the way it turned out, nice and tight. And I'll start on the rocker panel next. Hopefully I'll have it done in about a month. This is the first time I've used the .025 wire, and I like it a lot better. It's a lot easier to work with on that thin sheet metal than that .03. So, but I'll bring you back when I have it all cleaned up, probably when I put the rocker panel video up. See y'all then.